mystic, strange.
Welcome. Aries.
People will say anything for a laugh right now, and for the next few days, they will tend to just say anything in general and then continue talking. People will say anything for a laugh right now. Blue sky blustering is the order of the day, but there is a kernel of truth in some of those freeform filibusters, so don't overlook that speck of gold gleaming in the pan. Blue sky blustering is the order of the day. It is not difficult to execute ideal thrusts and parries, and the show is engaging enough to prevent one from becoming bored while still making progress. Investing effort into the creation of one's dreams is exactly what is needed, and the more you put your back into it, the more assistance you will receive from other people whom you persuade to follow your compass. Belief and deeds go hand in hand.
Taurus.
Your interpretation of your dreams and visions will determine how significant they are to you. Your dreams and visions can instruct you or inspire you to try something new in your life. Because you are experiencing frequent surges of brilliant inspiration, now is an excellent time for you to engage in activities that require creativity or intellectualism. You have put in a lot of effort to improve both the amount of information that you are able to comprehend from both internal and external sources, as well as the speed at which you can process this information. If a person has intuitive thoughts about a friend or acquaintance who is going through a challenging situation, it's possible that they will come to you for assistance or advice, without even being aware that they are doing so. One more illustration of this would be having an innate comprehension of the conditions that surround the activity in which you are currently engaged.
Gemini.
You currently possess a significant amount of clarity as well as insight. Both of these qualities are admirable. It is a good time to make a decision, reach a consensus on something, negotiate, discuss your perspective with others, or argue for your position. If you are employed in a field that involves ideas, communication, or words, you are currently in a position that is very productive for you. You are extremely articulate for someone of your age and have a wealth of ideas to contribute to the conversation. Because ideas are flowing and it is easier to express what you are thinking, now is a good time to be a writer, a teacher, a student, or engaged in any other kind of intellectual work. The activities of purchasing, selling, bartering, and communicating are all tasks that must be completed as quickly as is humanly possible.
Cancer.
Today is all about taking a big bite out of life, so dive in head first. But be careful not to satiate your hunger or whatever need you're trying to satisfy too completely. Today is all about grabbing life by the horns and living it to the fullest. Beginnings, whether they involve love or money, will be marked by breathtaking beauty. However, you should probably exercise caution when dealing with overwhelming charm. It's possible that a lot of people are getting tired right now, but those who are able to keep up have set a pace that won't let up. The most important thing to take away from this is how important it is to complete a task using the absolute minimum amount of resource possible. Companies just getting started that put money aside for the long haul today will be rewarded for their efforts in the years to come. While they are still burning, banked fires reach extremely high temperatures.
Leo.
It is very likely that you will experience a strong emotional or sexual attraction, a very revealing and intimate encounter, or a strong desire to be close to someone and share your deepest, most private thoughts and feelings with them. It is possible for all of these things to take place at the same time or independently of one another, because they have been allowed to fester for such a significant amount of time. Feelings and issues that have been festering just below the surface of a close relationship for a considerable amount of time can come to the surface in a manner that is very disruptive. Because of this, your relationships with everyone around you become more intense, and you need to be aware of the fact that you have a tendency to be demanding and compulsive toward the people who are in your immediate environment.
Virgo.
It's possible that the primary love relationship you have or your marriage is where you feel the need to be protected and loved. You have the ability to take in the intellectual and emotional energy of your partner and then consider how that has impacted you. It's one of those times when it's going to be very difficult to keep your imagination and fantasies in check. For instance, if you and the person you plan to marry have not yet tied the knot, you might pass the time daydreaming about what it will be like to be a married couple. During this time, you will experience every idealized and romantic scenario that you have ever envisioned for the two of you. It will all come true. At best, you will take pleasure in the company of your significant other, and for the time being, you will make the conscious decision to concentrate on the uplifting aspects of your relationship, as well as the all-consuming love you feel for one another.
Libra.
It is clear that the people in your environment who are in the best position to assist you are on a completely different side of the argument than you are, and the way in which they interact with you reflects this difference in perspectives. You have the propensity to give off an authoritative first impression, to be oblivious to the requirements and goals of others, and to conduct yourself in a manner that is not appropriate at this time. You have a strong desire to take positive actions towards achieving your goals. However, you must be careful not to go too far in this direction at this time, because doing so is likely to provoke significant hostility from other individuals. If you do go too far in this direction at this time, it is likely that you will provoke significant hostility from other individuals. If you continue in this path to an excessive degree at this time, you will not be able to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself.
Scorpio.
Although the majority of the time today's astrological influence has a favorable outcome, one should not assume that this will always be the case. The negative tendencies include the possibility of power struggles and competition with others who share the same professional goals and aspirations that you do. Being overly self-assured and impatient is another unfavorable pattern that can lead to taking unnecessary risks in pursuit of rewards that turn out to be less substantial than anticipated. A further possibility is that you are acutely aware of the influences described previously but are unable to zero in on a particular objective. This holds especially true if, over the course of the past few days, you have been unable to concentrate and devote yourself to the accomplishment of particular objectives or projects.
Sagittarius.
Whether it be in terms of love or money, everything is running smoothly, and at this point, satisfaction is almost certainly going to be achieved. The way in which you choose to respond to this circumstance will likely determine how the following day unfolds. This cooperative spirit, in which both parties give and receive, is what makes the transactions that are taking place today successful, and it is this spirit that one ought to work hard to replicate in the future. Even the most superficial friendships can bear fruit if they are based on manners that are rooted in consideration for other people. This is because small allusions and the occasional compliment go a long way toward easing the path for all. To embellish the truth does not necessarily mean to lie, rather, it means to spread happiness and optimism, which invigorates and revitalizes all parties involved in the situation.
Capricorn.
It's possible that you're anxious about whether or not you'll be able to fulfill the responsibilities that come with your family or your job. You get the impression that someone is determining whether or not you are capable of effectively managing your status and authority in these areas. It is possible for you to find yourself in difficult circumstances and arguments with co-workers and family members who believe that your interests are in opposition to one another. You have the impression that you are exerting a lot of effort in order to satisfy the requirements of everyone else at the same time. During this unsettling but relatively brief period of time, you will feel less secure, and it is possible that you will feel unloved as a result of this. In every aspect of your life, you are responsible for placing a high priority on both your mental and physical well-being.
Aquarius.
It's possible that individuals you know, like your family, friends, detractors, and authorities, are currently criticizing you unfairly. If a person's ideas and work are not accepted by others or are not of interest to them, extreme feelings of discouragement may come over them. You should continue to develop your strategy in order to present it at a later date when it would be more practical for all parties involved. Even though your plan has received criticism, you must make an effort to keep a positive outlook, acknowledge the aspects of the criticism that are accurate and beneficial, and continue working on your plan. At all costs, keep your sense of humor, and fight the urge to give up on the things that are truly important to you, even when it seems to be your only choice.
Pisces.
It is possible that what was said and what was felt yesterday will not be the same today. As a result, you should be on the lookout for inner contradictions in the people around you. Because your goals and the realities of the world around you might not always be on the same page, it is essential to give careful consideration to anything you sign. Rather than diving headfirst into something new, it might be more productive to wrap things up for the time being. Because the environment is characterized by a situation that is similar to a dream, it may be difficult to pin things down or to convince others to do so. The use of one's imagination, as well as speculation, optimism, and prayer, are all encouraged within this setting. Today is a better day for creative endeavors than for endeavors that are more concrete, because any attempt to formalize something will not result in it remaining so.